Daddy, chill.
Today is gonna be the day that I'm gonna throw it back to you. Let's get him. Ooh. You're thinking straight and short? Things the way I do. Let's do it. Like to say to you. You gotta be the one that saves me. Ooh, I can't let miss me by a centimeter here. California king. Had a nice short here. Alright, got 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left. That crept up really fast, the news. Let's see. What do you guys think? Up or down? Yep, it's coming out now in 3 minutes. I'm gonna close this. I was hoping to come down a little lower. Your full 40 at 270? Oh man. I don't know what to do. I'll wait. Let's go. I'm gonna close this in like 2 seconds. Wish I gotta block all these fucking things. I can't keep up. I had the news on, yeah. Man, should I just close this? Alright, I'm gonna close it.
1 minute remaining. I'll be leading with the US rate decision.
Okay. 40 seconds. I'm not adding anything. Oh, damn. Holy shit. Okay, ready? I could put it on you. Let's just see what it is.
10 seconds.
Thank you.
They say money
Oh.
can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
Oh shit.
No change, no change. Rate remains unchanged at 3.75% as expected. So the Fed voted 8-4 to hold the benchmark rate at 3.75%. Myron dissents in favor of a rate cut. Hammack, Kashkari, and Logan voted against the easing bias, and they noted Middle East developments adding a high level of uncertainty. So, looking through the rate statement now, then, Fed say that developments in the Middle East are contributing to a high level of uncertainty about the economic outlook. The
It's a
Fed
gamble I did
characterizes
here.
inflation as elevated versus somewhat elevated in the previous statement, citing the global energy prices. Fed note that the committee is attentive to risks on both sides of the mandate. Developments in the Middle East are contributing to a high level of uncertainty about the economic outlook. So, in considering the extent and timing of additional adjustments to the Fed funds rate, the committee will carefully assess incoming data, evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. So, the vote in favor of policy was again 8-4, with Myron dissenting in favor of a quarter percentage point cut, Hammack, Kashkari, and Logan dissenting against inclusion of the easing bias in the statement. So the Fed voted in favor again 8-4. So short-term US interest rate futures continue to price in little chance of a rate cut this year after the Fed leaves policy rates on hold.
A little chance.
Treasuries are steady after 4 dissents from the Fed rate decision. To the markets, nothing really holding here. Did see a whipsaw in the dollar.
Oh yeah,
Small reaction in
nothing will
as
happen
well.
to the
Nothing noteworthy there.
speech. Until the speech, this is gonna go nowheres. It should come on right away. Oh no, it's at 2:30. Sorry. I was trying to get a little bit of wicks. I got some of it. I think we're good. Did you get that short? Because it went right to... Oh, they missed it by 2 points. Mr. Bastard. Uh-oh. I gotta be careful here. This is starting to drop pretty quick. Really? Nice. Holy shit. So it hit all these order blocks here, blue
Dollar
blocks.
pairs gains against the yen, last down spot 4%. Euro extended losses against the dollar following the decision as well.
It would fucking bleed the other way. I was trying to get a nice little bounce. So it looks like they're all kind of separate on what to do. God, these bots are crazy, dude. do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. So they made the right move and left it. All right, this is going to be bullish, I think. Motherfucker. Did that not go above, bruh? I really needed to go up a little bit here. I thought it went up here. Valid. What's up, bro? It should come up. If not, then it's gonna hurt. It's gonna come down too far, and I can't hold that. There you go. Should be Gucci now.
Daddy, is that
Should
you?
be
Is
Gucci.
that you?
Mr. George Trader, welcome to the cell, Daddy.
Daddy, chill.
That's your short. Yeah, that would be a good short. I was trying. So we got some profit, and then came down on us, and I added into it. It was more of a gamble play, this one, obviously because of the news that just came out.
With some commentary, says the Fed is clearly moving toward a symmetrical policy.
It's gonna hurt, but there he goes. Okay, you fucker. Get your ass up there.
JP Morgan Michelle adds that the Fed is telling us increasingly they're concerned on the price level. Tasnim news agency says 6 Iranian crew members of the Iranian-flagged container ship Tuska freed after the seizure by the US. 22 Iranians are still being held, though.
Come on.
Daddy, chill.
After this price action calms down, you guys can't just tap that screen 10 times, 10 times.
Daddy, chill.
Man's gonna come down. Falker. I thought I was Gucci. I guess it was the pullback, but man, like, it's missing the areas by like a centimeter, dude. Like, it ripped down. I mean, ripped up. And then I guess it was bashed down by bad news. Oh, it got your entry valid? Nice, valid, nice. Yeah, 20 minutes.
The S&P 500 extends declines, last down around to a spot 4% following the Fed rate decision.
Oof, I'm about to lose it all right here if it doesn't stop. Okay, we swept. If we can get another bounce in here, I'm going to be fine. But my sizing's a little bit high in this kind of a market. Gotta break 183s right now. There we go. This should rip the fuck up. Look at this. 5 minute looks very bullish. We got 3 minutes left on that though. 30-second, very bullish too, with a soul collector.
Daddy, chill.
We're in a long, but you know, we don't know how far it'll go. We're about to get crazy news for the next 30 minutes.
You're behind the markets. If you're
The 5 minute is probably more. That's a candle, baby. That's a candle.
Daddy? Daddy, is that you? Is that you?
Kamal. I mean, welcome to the cell, Daddy.
Daddy, chill.
Yeah, it needs to come up. What area are you interested in, Mr. B? When she
Trump is
sang.
now speaking at the live event, so we do have a video on the feed for those interested.
Oh God, Trump speaking before this. He just entered. Yeah, I needed to come up a little more. $30 for the 5 minute. This could really play games. I think it hits my levels. But we are at the 200 is a pretty strong level, guys. But remember, this drop down feels like it was an overreaction for what? I'm not sure.
The traders now see as
Trading
much as
gold.
a 25% chance of a Fed rate hike by April 2027, which is up from 20% before the Fed decision.
That's a little bearish. Good to see you.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my
Oh,
face.
thank you for the heart. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. 15-minute. Thank you, Antonio. Yeah, that was bearish news, but there we go. There you go, Daddy. I feel like oh, that's of the year 2027, dude. That's a whole fucking year. Bang. Flat and all, please. Cancel all orders.
So Trump just
It came
confirming that he did
close,
speak
but
with Putin today.
it was kind of
He
like
talked
an
about Ukraine
overreaction.
and Iran.
Crazy, crazy,
Trump
crazy,
says we had a
crazy,
very
just.
good conversation.
Look at that 5-minute. Oh, yeah, look at that. Bang. Now, I would say 40s to the 50s is going to be an interesting spot, okay? Did I check gold? I did not check gold yet. We could check now while we're just
Trump
waiting.
says, I told Putin I'd rather you help end the war in Ukraine.
You've been saying that, brother. It's not... Honestly, I don't know
Trump
if it's
says Iran
Putin.
has a small percentage of its missile-making facilities.
I really don't think it's Putin just doing it now. I mean, Putin obviously initiated this, but it seems like Ukraine is the one that won't back down now. Okay, we're at that 40.
Trump on Putin talk says, I think he might announce a ceasefire.
Polish.
So Trump says Putin might announce a little ceasefire soon.
You got one contract full TP on 2. Yeah, that was a beautiful, beautiful. 240s. I'm gonna wait just a little bit more. I gotta see how this reacts. We are at VWAP. It seems good for the short, but it's gonna be it won't be for long. I'm gonna try one short. EP will be 201s. I'm in a little early, but 223s would send this down a lot more. All right, we're in 2 short. Looking for 206 to 202. I will not go. Lights on.
So Trump here is just suggesting that the Ukraine war could end before the Iran war.
What the fuck? That ain't good.
So in 10 minutes time now, at the bottom of the hour, we see the FOMC press conference with Fed's Chair Powell. This is due to be his last press conference as chairman of the Federal Reserve. So we've got a live video attached in the calendar. We'll get it on the feed as well.
Yo, Trump talks every time Putin goes up. Every time he comes up, Putin talks.
Oil futures extending gains, Brent crude rising to the highest since June of 2022 in intraday trading.
Come on.
Trump, when specifically asked which war ends first, says maybe similar timetables.
Do-do, 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 do-do. When
Daddy?
Jerome starts
Daddy,
speaking,
Is that you?
Trucking for life. Welcome to the soul, Daddy.
Daddy, chill.
when Jerome starts speaking, do you want my news guys just to give us the key points, or do you want me to pause them and put on Jerome Powell only with no music? Zombie, eh, eh. Just tell me what to do, Dad. Go clean your room. Guys, you guys tap that screen. Tap that screen. 10 minutes. I mean, 10 taps. 10 taps. Well, 20 if you can. Daddy, I can't chill. Uh-oh, last meeting of the President Powell saying good afternoon. Does that mean bullish or bearish, Antonio? Oh, you don't know? Yeah, there's some kind of bet thing that goes on. Like if Powell says good afternoon, I think it rips up. He says like good evening. It's bearish. There's some kind of bet thing. Eh, eh, eh. Oh, oh. Come on, Daddy. Dada. Look, I passed eval and nearly blew the whole express. Oh my god. Trade small, trade small.
Daddy, chill.
It's still showing bearishness here. Oh man, but it's going back and forth, back and forth. But Dada, I only know big. What the fuck? What the hell's going on here?
Don't make Daddy angry.
So in 5 minutes' time now, at the bottom of the
What's
hour,
up,
we do see the
Liam?
start of the FOMC press conference with Fed's Chair Powell. We have got the live video on the feed for those interested.
I ready. Guys, do you want me to put on the meeting? Or do you want my news guy just to talk? My news dude, so just let him talk? Not listen to Powell? If you guys want me to put in the video, just let me know later on. Do I trade meme coins? No, I only trade futures. Let's listen to Powell's last time.
JP Morgan's Michelle says the next meeting will be more two-way debates on rates. So traders add to bets on Fed rate hikes in 2027.
We'll put on
45% chance based on CME FedWatch data.
We'll put the beginning on. We'll see if he does good afternoon. What do you guys think? What's the thing? Hold on, let's Is there like a thing when Jerome Powell speaks when he says good afternoon it rips up or something else, something like that?
You know, people definitely pay super close attention to everything he says, down to his words and tone. Some folks even speculate that algorithmic traders might react to small changes in his greeting, like if he says good afternoon versus something more casual, thinking it might hint at the Fed's overall mood. While that kind of microanalysis is hyped, the real big market moves usually come from what he actually says.
I get that, but when he says good afternoon, does that mean bullish?
Not necessarily. While some algorithmic traders might see a good afternoon as a sign of stability and react quickly,
Isn't there like some poll online? Can you just look online to see?
the real driver. Actually, Jerome Powell is currently speaking at his press conference following the latest Federal Reserve meeting, which just wrapped up today.
I'm done with him. Done with that AI. Powell.
Trump from the UAE leaving OPEC says it's great.
Powell. Yeah, Trump's talking. He always does this to Powell. Every time Powell talks, Trump speaks. He's done it every time for the past year. I think he's doing it on purpose.
The UAE OPEC exit is great for getting gasoline and oil down.
Let's see what happens. Let's see when he says good afternoon, if it like rips it up.
Trump says it's a good time to lower rates.
Good time to lower rates. The complete opposite.
1 minute away from the bottom of the hour, where we're expecting Powell's press conference. So again, shortly expecting the press conference from Fed's Powell.
I love how opposite Trump is. He's funny, man. Good afternoon. Yeah, we're waiting to see what he says first. What do you guys think he's going to say? Good afternoon or good evening? Still not on. He says good afternoon, everyone, and it dumps. What's the other way? What's the other way? Good afternoon, and what else? What else rips it up? Oh. It's on.
Build apps that scale.
No.
Meet Base 44.
I'm trying to get the YT out of it. This thing is dumping. Oh. I messed it up already. I think it's Control V. That ain't it.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon!
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit
Good afternoon.
of the American people. The U.S. economy has been expanding at a solid pace. While job gains have remained low, the unemployment rate has been little changed in recent months. Inflation has moved up and is elevated, in part reflecting the recent increase in global energy prices.
Dude, this thing's lagging.
Today, the FOMC decided to leave our policy rate unchanged. We see the current stance of monetary policy as appropriate to promote progress toward our maximum employment and 2% inflation goals. Developments in the Middle East are contributing to a high level of uncertainty about the economic outlook, and we will remain attentive to risks to both sides of our dual mandate. I'll have more to say about
It's very laggy. I don't even know where it is.
reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a solid pace. Consumer spending has been resilient, and business fixed investment has continued to expand at a brisk pace. In contrast, activity in the housing
Yeah, it's lagging, guys.
sector has
There it
remained
goes.
weak. In the labor market, the unemployment rate was 4.3%, though labor demand has clearly softened as well. Other indicators, including job openings, layoffs, hiring, and nominal wage growth, generally show little change in recent months.
Oh, Fort shorts.
Inflation has moved up recently and is elevated relative to our 2% longer run goal. Estimates based on the Consumer Price Index and other data indicate that total PCE prices rose 3.5% over the 12 months ending in March, boosted by the significant rise in global oil prices that has resulted from the conflict in the Middle East.
The fuck, Powell?
Excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 3.2% over the 12 months ending in March. This relatively high rate largely reflects the effects of tariffs on prices in the goods sector. Near-term measures of inflation expectations have risen this year, likely because
Dude, this thing is
of
lagging.
substantial rise in oil
There must be a lot of
prices.
people watching this.
Most
While we wait, guys, tap that screen. Tap that
measures of
screen. I only have
long-term
700
expectations
likes. I need
remain
at least
consistent with our
1,000. Help me out. Help me out.
2% inflation goal. Our monetary policy actions are guided by our dual mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
for the American people. At today's meeting, the committee decided to maintain the target range
Woo,
for
that
the
thing's
federal
ripping up, boy.
funds rate at 3.5 to 3.75%. The economic outlook remains highly uncertain, and the conflict in the Middle East has added to this uncertainty. In the near term, higher energy prices will push up overall inflation. Beyond that, the scope and duration of potential effects on the economy remain.
Whatever it is, there's too many people watching, and I think it's just lagging.
As does the future course of the conflict itself. We will continue to monitor the risks to both sides of our dual mandate. We are well positioned to determine the extent and timing of additional adjustments to our policy rate based on the incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. Monetary policy is not on a preset course, and we will make our decisions on a meeting-by-meeting basis. This is my last press conference as chair, and I will close with a few thoughts.
Ooh.
First, I want to congratulate Kevin Warsh on his advancement out of the Senate.
Imagine he was like, fuck Trump, fuck Trump.
This is an important step forward, and I wish him well as that process continues. The Federal Reserve exists for one fundamental purpose: to foster the economic conditions in which American families and businesses can thrive. Stable prices, a strong job market, and a financial system they can depend on. Every decision we make, whether about interest rates or regulatory
Up here would be a good short. 780s, 290s.
is made in service of that purpose. Our decisions reflect the collective judgment of the Board of Governors and the Federal Open Market Committee, colleagues who demonstrate analytical rigor, principled judgment, and a genuine commitment to the public interest. Our collaborative and deliberative process has long reflected a shared commitment to finding common ground.
Trump, just
in
stop
service
talking.
to our mission. This institution is resilient, capable, and staffed.
Guys,
with
70 more,
extraordinary
70 more. Give me
talent and
2,000.
exceptional dedication. It has been a privilege to serve alongside so many great public servants at the Board of Governors and around the Federal Reserve System. The Fed's work is only as effective as the public's understanding of it, and you, the press, are essential to keeping the public informed about what we
Gracias.
do and
Oh.
why. The people we serve benefit from your careful reporting.
Thank you, thank you. We're at the 1,000. Thank
The
you.
announcement last Friday by the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia that she had closed the criminal investigation. She also noted, however, that she would not hesitate to restart the investigation. Over the weekend, the Department
It's lagging a lot. I think they had to
After my
restart the
term
stream
as
there.
chair ends
Okay.
on May 15, I will continue to serve as a governor for a period of time to be determined.
So we're still gonna be behind the scenes.
As a governor, there's only ever one chair of the Federal Reserve Board. When Kevin Warsh is confirmed and sworn in, he will be
Come
our
on.
chair. Once sworn in as board chair, his new colleagues will elect him to chair the FOMC as well.
268 right here. 265.
As I regularly point out from this podium, our success in delivering our goals matters for all Americans. I'm confident that the Fed will continue to do its work with objectivity, integrity, and a deep commitment to serve the American people. Thank you.
I will not miss Powell. The jokes, yes. I will miss the jokes.
Questions.
Who knows? Maybe there's questions already.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Appreciate the kind words about the press. Often doesn't come from the podium in different places, but appreciate that. Can you talk about what is gone into your decision to remain on the board? What kind of criteria are you weighing, and how long might you stay? Thank you.
Sure. So, my concern is really about the series of legal attacks on the Fed, which threaten our ability to conduct monetary policy without considering political factors.
Nah, don't do all 7.
This has
I am
nothing
copy
whatever
trading
to do
5.
with verbal criticism by elected officials. I've never suggested that such verbal criticism is a problem, and neither has anyone else here. But these legal actions by the administration are unprecedented in our 113-year history, and there are ongoing threats of additional such actions. I worry that
He said he don't like Trump.
these attacks are battering the institution and putting at risk the thing that really matters to the public, which is the ability to conduct monetary policy without taking into consideration political factors. It is so important for our economy, for the people that we serve, that they can depend over time on a central bank that operates that way, free of political influence. It's part of the absolute foundation of this amazing economy that we have. It's just
I don't know,
one of the many
Antonio.
reasons why the U.S. economy is the envy of the world. That piece of institutional architecture separates successful countries from unsuccessful countries. It is extremely important, not for the people who work at the Fed at any given time, but for the people that we serve, that the Fed remain able to conduct monetary policy in a way that doesn't get pulled into politics, trying to help or hurt any particular politician or political
He's basically
party.
saying the Trump administration's fucking everything up. That's what he's
In terms
saying.
of when I would leave, I will leave when I think it's appropriate to do so. Was that all your questions, or was there?
Well, I just have a follow-up, which is, what would you say to the criticism that by remaining on the board, you're actually taking a political act and denying
Yeah,
President Trump
exactly.
the majority of the board, which as president,
Good
you would have if you
response.
left?
I don't see that at all. As I mentioned, you know, I'm literally staying because of the actions that have been taken. I had long planned to be retiring, and you know, the things that have happened in the last 3 months have I think left me no choice but to stay until I see them through at least that long. You know, in addition, I don't see how this will interfere. My intention is not to interfere. You know, I was a governor for almost 6 years, and the tradition is at the Fed that governors who understand how difficult the role of chair is.
Governor.
As a soon-to-be former chair, I do understand how hard it is to get consensus with 19 strong-minded people. You work with the chair. You try to be heard, but also collaborate with the chair and try to support
Is
the
it?
chair when you can. When you can't, you can't.
It's with
And
the
I think
B?
that's the attitude that people generally take, and that's the attitude that I'll take.
Nick.
Chair Powell, if I could ask about the inflation outlook. In March, you described the standard practice of looking through energy shocks as conditional on inflation expectations staying anchored. Since that meeting, there has been very little progress reopening key energy trade corridors. Can you help us understand how the inflation outlook has changed in the intermeeting period, beginning with the prospects for tariff pass-through resolving on the timeline that you had outlined in March, before getting to the energy shock that is now on top?
So, you know, I would look at it this way.
I feel like this wants to go up.
We've been working on the
I'm gonna scalp this though.
hypothesis, really,
This is a scalp.
that tariffs would lead to a one-time price increase, and that would go away over time. In other words, there would be no further change.
Right
So
to
as inflation
VWAP. Let's
would
see.
reflect that higher level going.
Could be wrong.
And it's time for that to happen. You know, we really do expect that to be happening in the next 2 quarters.
Jasmine is not here. No, there's not many people
To see
on
that
today.
what we've thought all along would happen. That's the kind of critical part of the forecast. We need to really see that. With energy, it's so hard to say. I mentioned, you know.
Did you go and visit her,
sort of
Cowboy?
textbook, you would look through an oil shock because they tend to be short-lived and they tend to revert. And monetary policy works with long and variable lags, so you know you wouldn't necessarily react right away. I think that is all the more true given that we're several years above 2% inflation, and that we're already looking through the tariff shock. So I think we're going to be very cautious about that. But the question about looking through energy really is not in front of us right now. It hasn't even peaked yet, and I think we'd want to see the backside of that and progress
Hasn't peaked yet. That's actually bearish.
on tariffs before we even thought about reducing rates.
So if I could follow up, the statement today preserves language that has taken on some meaning as it was socialized when the committee was actively lowering
That was bearish.
rates. Why is that easing bias still ripe, given how different.
Man, this thing is so
it's,
laggy.
It's a good question, right? You see, inflation has moved up over the interim a bit. Core inflation's 3.2 now, moving, albeit just a little bit, in the wrong direction. And we know that there will be, that there's headline inflation coming out of the Gulf, and we don't know how much that will be. We're going to need to see. So it makes all the sense in the world that people would look at that, and we
that short was not good for me.
You saw that three people
that was not a good short.
Language. I think all of those people agreed with the rate decision. So the majority of the committee did not want to do that, and I didn't think we needed to do it at this meeting. It really was just a question of why do we need to do that now? We have so much to learn.
So honestly, he's not going anywhere.
There doesn't need to be any rush.
You think she's hot, bully, or not?
Because what happens in the next 30
she's got a lot of mythical stuff. Usually those mythical girls aren't very attractive.
Around that language. So it's a much closer thing on the committee than it was in March, and that makes all the sense in the world, it seems to me.
Claire Jones, Financial Times. Just going back to this issue of the easing bias, we've now got oil approaching $120 a barrel when it comes to the benchmark. Brent crude. If it stays
That's
around
an
those
attractive
levels 6
Asian girl
months
in the
from
background
now,
on
what
this.
would be your best guess as to whether the easing bias will still be in the statement? Thank you.
He's in a business suit.
I wouldn't want to guess. Well, first of all, we're going to have new leadership in all likelihood by then, and new leadership's going to have a very important role to play in that. So I won't be standing here at this podium to answer your question. So I don't know. As I mentioned, that's all I can really say is that we had a great discussion about that today. It's gotten to be a better question in the interim period. We had the discussion. A majority are still on the page of not feeling the need to move to that level, and that's where I am. I get it though. At a certain point you would move, and that conceivably could come as soon as the next meeting.
Thank you. Just to follow on, the new leadership also seem rather
There you go.
lukewarm on press conferences and on the dot plots. What would your advice to him be on these communication tools?
So I'm not going to give him any advice through you today here, but I think communications generally is. I think every incoming chair takes a look at communications, and it's a very healthy thing. I mean, communications it's very complex, and you can always be looking at new things. And if that happens, it feels like it's going to happen. That's completely appropriate.
Dude, we have so many earnings today. Holy shit.
Hi, Chair Powell, Neil Owen with Axios. Can you tell us if you've been in touch with incoming Chairman Warsh?
Probably gonna rip to the moon today, guys.
To what extent is this a normal transition process versus all the things swirling around, something unusual, and what can we expect when he takes?
I mean, all the big dogs.
I haven't seen him since seeing him at a dinner in January where I congratulated him and had a nice chat with him. Haven't seen him. I don't know what a normal process is. The last process was with Janet Yellen, with whom I had worked for 6 years, and so it was, we were sitting down the hall from each other, so it was a very different thing. I think this is and will be a very normal, standard kind of a transition process. So that's what I expect. I have every reason to think it will be.
Quick follow-up: is the Supreme Court ruling on Governor Cook a factor in when you may leave as a governor?
I wasn't thinking of it as such, but no, not really. I mean, I'm thinking more of the other things I mentioned.
Hi, thanks for taking our question. I wanted to ask a question about your tenure, and Chris Rugaber at Associated Press. During your tenure as chair, you often spoke about how disadvantaged Americans benefited from extended periods of low unemployment. In the new framework the Fed adopted in 2020, some economists say elevated the Fed's employment mandate. Are you worried that the pandemic inflation spike that followed will make future Fed chairs more reluctant to pursue a hot jobs market? And should they be?
I don't know the answer to that. I mean, what we
What kind of fucking question is that, you fucking pussy? You had one question. This is your one shot, one chance, and you blew it.
Really low levels of unemployment for a long period of time and no reaction from inflation. And we all very much took notice of that. We also noticed that the biggest wage gains were going to people at the bottom end of the income spectrum. And we had many, many reports of, I mean, it felt like a fairly stable equilibrium, and a lot of benefits were flowing to people at the bottom end of the income spectrum, including companies were, setting up in people who were confined and like training them before they got out, and it was a very healthy sort of set of societal dynamics. So of course, I think anybody would love to get back to that. I don't think that anything that happened to create the global pandemic inflation was in any way related to.
Yeah, there's a lot supporting it. It's weird.
Global shock that happened essentially very
Soul collect right now?
all over the world that had to do with
I would like these areas here, 290s. See what happens there for a short.
A graph of 10 big economies on the page and not know which was the U.S. and which was Germany, France, and things like that. So I don't think that insight was in any way
That is bad, but it's just the year
the high
2027.
inflation that we experienced. So, I mean, I think it's always been a balance. You've got to be strong on both of our dual mandates, and for example, now we don't feel that the labor market is at all a source of inflation, so we don't need to be worrying about that. It's been a long time since we have had to worry about that. Well, actually, during the pandemic recovery, the labor market was super overheated and tight, and that's when we had to worry about it, but not now.
Just on the other issue, do you need more assurance from the Justice Department before stepping down? Is that
Daddy?
what you're waiting for?
Daddy, is that you?
What else?
Is that you?
For the investigation.
Raphael, welcome to the cell,
Daddy,
Daddy.
is that you? Is that you?
Yes, welcome to the cell, Daddy.
And I'm waiting
Daddy,
for that.
chill.
And I will leave when I think it's appropriate to do so.
Michael McKee from Bloomberg Television and Radio. I'd like to ask you if you could explain a little more or characterize a little more the discussion about the two-sided view and interest rates, because there were some members of the Open Market Committee who've been suggesting that we may need to raise interest rates even absent the war because inflation was not coming down fast enough. Is there any sense that interest rates might have to go up, or was this just a setup?
Here's the big question.
Warn people that you're worried about the.
Here's the big question.
So nobody, the three dissenters and others who could have supported that, and others who were voters and non-voters who preferred it, they all supported the right decision, right? So people are not saying we need to hike now. It's more a question of,
Daddy? Daddy, is that you? Is that you?
We should be neutral, and markets. What are markets doing?
HK, welcome to the cell, Daddy.
Consistent with markets are doing.
Daddy, chill.
And again, it's a very fair question, but these changes, there is it's a form of forward guidance, and you don't want to make them in a way that will be sustained and continue to make sense, and not something you need to take back fairly quickly. So I think we just, a group of us, including me, didn't feel like we needed to be in a hurry on that markets are not confused about our reaction function. We don't have a problem to solve on that. But the other side of the argument is a good argument too, as I mentioned. It's a perfectly good argument to be having, good discussion to be having. So, and it came out the way it came out.
Well, you've got three dissents in favor of two-sided warning. You've got yourself staying on the board. You've got the criticism that does come from elected officials, and you've got a lot of critics who have faulted the Fed for being too slow 2021 with inflation. Are you worried about Fed credibility under all of this? Is that one reason that you want to stay on?
Not driving.
That was a reach.
I mean, monetary policy is going to
What
get
a
made
reach.
by 19 people. There's a lot of stability there. I mean, if you think about it, every new Fed chair has the same situation, which is you've got 18 colleagues on the FOMC, 11 of them vote during any year, and your job is to create consensus it's to talk to them, understand them, be inside their thinking, and be able to pull them together and get consensus and move. And that's what every Fed chair has to do. And I think Kevin Warsh is actually
What's
quite
under the mask?
He has
What do
the
you mean?
capabilities, skills to be very good at that, I would think. So I think I'm not so worried about that process. I think that'll work itself out.
Thank you, Chair. Howard Schneider with Reuters. You mentioned that staying on as a governor, you intend to keep a low profile. I'm just wondering if you could give us a little more detail on what that looks like and how you can... Touche.
What did he say?
Yeah, walk down the steps. What that looks like, and particularly around the policy discussion, how you're able to have your intervention and not be a shadow chair and not have a kind of an outsized influence over the process.
Yeah, that's just something I would never do. The shadow chair thing. I don't know
Shadow
what the exact
chair.
specifics of it will be, but I'm going back to being a governor. I respect the role of chair. I was a chair. I was a governor for 6 years, and I know what that's like. I know it, and I had a pretty front row.
There we go. We're at that area.
The Chair Yellen, to whom I was close when I worked with Chairman Bernanke for 2 years, but. I was
300s maybe?
at that time, so I got a sense of what it was, and I had real sympathy for how hard it is to get that group to consensus. And I always felt like I don't want to add to that unnecessarily, and that means try to support the chairs where the direction the chair wants to go.
What's it gonna be?
If you can't, you can't.
Shot
But
caller.
That's the way it's always worked there, because the chair only has one vote, plus the ability to develop consensus. And if people won't be, they won't, if they're not flexible at all, then how do you ever do that?
Daddy?
And so that's
Daddy?
why the
Is
chair
that
has
you?
the
Is
authority.
that
The chair
you?
has really is to
Bernie
develop
1,
relationships,
welcome to the cell, Daddy.
work
Daddy,
with them,
chill.
and then put something forward that has consensus. And I propose to be a very constructive participant in that process, really out of respect for the office of the chair.
And
This is boring.
In your view as a soon-to-be governor, how do you see the risks of oil prices bleeding into core inflation in coming weeks? Because
Good
that
question.
was, it seems like the commentary that was coming from particularly some of the Reserve Bank presidents, they were elevated concerns about the bleed into core. And, here we are with 3 cents now. What do you see as the prospect of a core inflation?
Those prospects are real. Remember, though, and they're real, and the real thing is we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to need to see.
300s?
The news is we think our policy stance is in a very good place for us to wait and see. We're right kind of at the high end of neutral or perhaps mildly restrictive. The labor market shows more and more signs of stability, whereas inflation is kind of misbehaving, and so maybe a little bit of
300s
restriction or the high end of neutral is just the right place to be. So we can wait here and see how things work out before we act. And we'll see how much that, how much does come through into core. You see it already in airfares, of course, but you may see it in many other places. We just don't know yet, and it's so unknowable because how long will the strait be closed? You can develop any number of scenarios that you want, but we really won't know until we know. So fortunately, we're in a good place to wait and let things develop.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. You started holding post-meeting press conferences for every meeting as opposed to the ones with just with SEPs. Can you talk about why you see that as a net positive?
So we always said when we were doing quarterly press conferences, we always said we can move at any meeting, but we only ever moved at the quarterly SEP meetings where we had the press conference.
Look at that fucking
So
15-minute candle. Please, slow, please. 50
a
seconds
lot
left of this
every meeting,
15.
sometimes between meetings, and doing that with our press conference, I think, would have been quite challenging. It's become the industry norm. It's the standard. I don't know whether that has to remain that way. I don't know. I mean, it's just something people have become used to, and I do think it's quite helpful to, I try to deliver a message on behalf of the committee rather
Testing
than 18
shorts.
people, 18
I want to go up
people
just a
going out and
tad bit
delivering one
higher.
message, and it's going to be all over the place because we do thankfully have widely disparate views.
Okay, thanks. The other thing I wanted to ask about was the communications review from last year. Could you describe the debate last year, what changes were considered, what you wanted, and what prevented action, any action on those changes?
So, yeah, I'm not going to go into
There we go, 305s.
small specifics, but what we found very quickly was that making changes, making really is the most natural thing in the world.
You doing 313 shorts, you think, Nico? A good area too.
Thank you. Colby Smith with the New York Times. If I could follow up on Mike's question about hikes. Are we right to assume that the hawkish outcome for the Fed is still one in which the committee just extends
no matter what,
the
we just
pause
got to
and
see
rate
how it
cuts?
reacts, though.
And to what extent is there a growing sense within the committee that monetary policy really isn't just restrictive at all right now? The economy is holding up relatively well.
All right,
Despite this
Shorty.
major energy shock, the unemployment rate has ticked lower.
It's a little better, in my opinion, the market right now.
Even before the war, and is now moving higher. So where is the committee at on that debate?
You know, where we're at is we think our policy rate is in a good place. If we need to hike, we will certainly signal that, and we will certainly do it. And if we need to cut, then, or if it's appropriate to cut, then we'll signal the opposite. I think because we feel like we're in a good place to move in either direction. Nobody's calling for a hike right now. So it really is going to depend on how things evolve, and you know that's really where it
Still
is.
got 3 minutes left of the 5.
You know, much closer question this cycle on changing the guidance, but ultimately we didn't.
And as it relates to the war, at what point do you think the risk to growth
Last
will be
week
larger
was
than the
terrible,
risk
though,
to
Liberty.
inflation as this conflict drags on?
You know, you just have to find that out empirically. You know, given our the fact that we're, you know, a big exporter of energy, and that our economy is far less energy intensive, oil intensive than it was during the 70s. You know, the effects on the United States are really substantially less than those of Western Europe or Asia, who are feeling much greater effects from these things. Our effects we're feeling in the current situation currently, and in sort of what's priced in, which is you know, a relatively quick outcome. If this goes on for much longer and prices go much higher, then we'll feel that much more. And of course, I'm talking about aggregate inflation numbers. We're very well aware that people are experiencing higher gas prices all over the country now, and that hurts. And those hikes may continue to happen, and other things are going to start to reflect airline fares I've mentioned, and other products and services that are dependent upon petroleum and derivatives of petroleum. People are going to start to feel that.
Edward.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Edward Lawrence with Fox Business. So I guess I'll just ask you directly on this. The markets don't see a rate cut at all this year, is what they're predicting. Do you think that we are at the neutral rate? Why or why not?
This is huge.
Rate is, we cannot know it with certainty. I think pretty close to the neutral rate. Yeah, I always had it, you know, between 3% and 4%. We're a little north of 3.5%, so that's well in the range of what I would consider reasonable, but at the higher end of the range of what I would consider reasonable.
That was a pretty good question.
You know, I think the labor market is still probably cooling off just a little bit. And I don't think there's much of a case for any case really for policy looking, you know, meaningfully restrictive, maybe mildly restrictive or neutral, I would say.
And I want to follow up on some of the other questions about your future a little bit. The first time we've seen 4 dissents now since October of 2019.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
Are you handing off a divided Fed?
You know,
Be with the rose, thank you.
the thing to remember is
Daddy, chill.
we have always had vigorous debates and
2 roses. Thank you. 3.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
We're in an unusually difficult situation. So we've really had 4 supply.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Say more than 4.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
We had the invasion of Ukraine. We had tariffs. And now we have
Come on.
Iran.
A little lower, bro. It'd be a $1,000 move there. Come on.
The oil spike. So those every supply shock has the capability of driving inflation up and unemployment up. And what do? You know,
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
The right thing
Yes,
to do is to
Vivi.
try to
Yes,
balance
give it to me.
and achieve
Yes.
those 2 goals, and that's what our framework calls for us to do. But
Nah,
these
not
are
today. Not yet.
tough, difficult judgments.
I haven't
You've gotta
had
have
to.
a forecast for each variable. You've got to think how long it's.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
How restrictive or not is policy. So it's only natural that you have a range of views.
More roses. She loves me. She loves me.
Different risk tolerances and that kind of thing. I mean, if everybody.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my
Dude, I need
face.
this a dump.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
The extraordinarily challenging set of supply.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
Oh, thank you
They
so
say
much.
money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
Thank you so much, Chair Powell. Selena Wayne with ABC News. Are you confident that Kevin Warsh will stand up to political pressure from
This
President
girl's
Trump?
pretty hot.
So he testified very strongly.
Ah, I wanted to show you.
Strongly to that effect in his hearing, and I'll take him at his word.
And when it comes to gas, right now it's over $4 a gallon. Inflation just hit 8.
Right? She looks like powerful. Say my name, bitch. Vivi. Vivi.
2-year high. Should Americans expect to be paying higher gas prices for the rest of this year? And in your view, does that take a rate cut off of the table? And secondly, by staying on as Fed governor, what message do you think you're sending to the president?
I don't know what gas prices
Vivi.
are going to do for the rest of the year. And it will depend on how long the strait remains closed and how quickly it can be reopened and that kind of thing. But remember, when gas prices go up, that's disposable income coming out of people's pockets, so they're going to spend less on other things. So there will be a hit to GDP. So
Oh, we got a short in the 5-2. Let's hold this bitch, guys.
Spending, goes down to offset the inflationary effects. So it's not the answer isn't obvious ex ante whether you should move your rate over because of that. We'll have to see how it evolves.
By staying on?
I'll stand on what I said earlier.
Victoria. Hi, Victoria Guida with Politico. During your tenure, Fed independence has come under pressure in a lot of different ways. And I was just wondering, practically speaking, where do you see Fed independence as coming from? Is it the law? Is it political support from Congress? Is it the actions of the Fed? What sustains Fed independence?
Well,
Come on.
To a significant extent, it is the law. And, we've had to go to court to successfully so far to defend it. But the law does create a setting in which the Fed can and is directed to make monetary policy without consideration of political factors. And so part of it is the law, but it goes beyond that, though. There's a set of customs. There's a boundary line between the Fed and the administration, between the Fed and the Treasury Department. And we need to continue to respect those boundaries about what the Fed is responsible for and what the Treasury is responsible for and what the rest of the administration is responsible for. So some of it is legal. In fact, it's all legal at the end of the day, but it's more than just monetary policy.
Oh, Jasmine's here.
We don't want to use our tools to, we haven't wanted
Your
to use our
lover's been
tools to
waiting.
achieve goals that are really clearly outside our mandate. Every administration looks at our tools and thinks, yeah, it would be good to repurpose those to serve other purposes.
Break below 770. 777 should. All right, good. All right. I want to add in one more.
We've resisted that.
Well, and maybe another way of asking it too is, do you think that Fed independence is as strong now as when you became
Jazzy says, "Where's my darling,
Why?
Mr. Cowboy?"
I mean, I think these
He's been asking for you like once an hour.
assaults, if you will. As I mentioned,
Some of it's legal, the rest is illegal. Yeah, exactly.
Over these things, we're having to resort to, the courts to enforce our legal, it's not so much independence. It's really the ability to to make monetary policy without political considerations. That's what we're talking about, and we've had to do that, and we've been successful so far. But that's not over. None of that is concluded yet, and it's really important. It's not.
Oh my God.
It's not about people who work at the Fed or the institution. It's about the benefits of a central bank that makes decisions based
fuck.
on analysis and our best thinking, rather than trying to help or hurt politicians. It's that
Hit it your area, Nico.
Central banks who do one and do the other, and successful countries have uniformly.
This is the area that we had before.
Countries have a really
That's what we
strong
shorted
set of
before.
protections around their central bank, just for that reason. So that's what it's all about. I think I am confident, as I said in my remarks, that the Fed will continue to make its decisions based on analysis, rigorous analysis, and not on political considerations. But we've had to fight for it, and I'd like to think that we can get out of that era and go back to respecting
Drop this
what the law
shit.
says and what custom has been, which is to let
Come
the
on.
Fed do our thing. It's an institution full of human beings who work super hard to get things right for the benefit of the public. We're all
He's
human
basically saying he's tired of the Trump administration trying to bully them.
decisions without political considerations and the very best analysis we can bring.
Katerina Saraiva, Bloomberg News. How would you characterize what you've heard from your colleagues on your decision to stay? Do you have their support? And then have you heard concern from your colleagues about continued legal attacks from the executive branch? Is this something that others have, talked to you about?
So I think that I don't.
This made a higher high though, guys.
They can speak for themselves, but there are widespread concerns that these things may continue. That's all I'll say. And
This thing is held pretty long though. If we start breaking above this, it ain't good.
So.
And then I just also wanted to ask about Governor Waller's speech on the reserve banks. Do you have any thoughts on centralizing some of those functions in the way he described? And then are you concerned that something like that could potentially be a slippery slope to, to consolidate reserve bank functions even more in such a way where
Dude, I was up a
bank
lot
ultimately
too.
loses some of that important regional information?
So we try to be good stewards of the public's money and efficient, and Chris Waller is particularly passionate about that. Of course, so are the reserves, so are the presidents, and it's a question of how do you accomplish it. We of course, and Chris said this in his speech, we want 12 strong independent central banks with their own staffs and their own monetary policy views and all that. But there are things that are done in all 12 which could well be done at one much more efficiently and with cost savings. And so there's a back and forth going on that, but everybody's on the same page. The other thing he touched on was the idea of removing reserve bank presidents from office over different views on monetary policy, and I would just agree with him so strongly. that would be the beginning of the end.
We're at the
Fed's ability
turning
to-
point here, so it's
to
gonna make a
monetary
choice
policy.
here or there.
If every administration could come
This
in
is
and do that, you're
this
just
strong.
a cabinet agency at that point. So that's not something that I would support. Chris said the same thing.
Damn. I went from up 1,000 to fucking just gave back over 1.3 right now if this holds.
Thanks, Chair Powell. Christine Romans, NBC News. I
Not
wanna ask
good,
you
not
about
good.
legacy. When the history books are written, how
Not
do
good.
you
We're going
think
up,
your
dude. Holy
stewardship
shit.
at the Fed
I don't even. He didn't even fucking say anything.
for the past 8 years?
You know, I'm gonna just say that that's for
See how it
somebody else
acts
to say.
here. If not, then I gotta close it.
All right, I'm going to ask you about misbehaving inflation then. You talked about those 4 big shocks, supply shocks over the past 5 years, and inflation still misbehaving. What's your message to American families who feel like inflation has not been under control for them really since the COVID reopening?
You know, we're committed to bring inflation back down to 2%, and
It really hasn't been under control since.
That's
Right?
our goal, and we'll stick at it until that happens. We keep getting these events keep happening, which keep driving up
See
costs.
this soul collector.
And, you know,
I think this is the law, like the line in the sand though. Like if this area can't hold, it's got some up potential for real.
tools to guide inflation back down to 2%. I think trying to get there really quickly could be very costly in terms of job loss and things like that, but we try to get there over time in a way that does the least damage possible, and you know our commitment to that is never ending and unshakable.
How would you describe the economy outside of the misbehaving?
Look at this thing. This thing is just ripping up for no reason. You can see it.
Awfully resilient.
Color change,
given
color
all
change,
of the
color change.
blows.
I don't know that you can be awfully resilient, so it's actually quite resilient, I would say, because it's a positive thing. If I can have that amendment, yeah, you know, growth is really solid across our economy. Some of that is that consumer spending is hanging in pretty well. The most recent data are good, and some of it is just the apparently insatiable demand for data centers all over the United States. So a lot of business investment going into building data centers, and every reason to think that that continues. So you've got an economy that's growing at 2%.
Oh, that's bullish.
or
Fuck me.
PDFP, which is private domestic final purchases, which is really a better signal of a momentum.
He's saying
that
bullish
comes actually
stuff.
higher than that. So that's a positive thing. If you look at the unemployment rate, it's 4.3%. So that's a low rate. That's pretty close to mainstream estimates of the natural rate. We've been there for a long time. So it doesn't feel like a good labor market to some who don't have jobs because
Okay, drop. That was
costs are
bad.
really low, hires are really low, and there's effectively no new net job creation. So that's you know.
No new net job creations.
But it's an unusual and uncomfortable kind of a balance where people who don't have jobs will have a hard time breaking in unless somebody quits their job. So that's pretty good. You know, inflation is the thing we need to work on, and it's partly tariffs, which we think that inflation should subside over the course of this year because it's kind of a one-time increase. It shouldn't be repeated, and that should start happening pretty soon. The energy inflation that we're getting should go through fairly quickly, and we'll just have to see how that works out. In the meantime, you know, we think our policy.
Guy wants to be bearish the whole time and then just starts fucking talking real bullish.
Thank you, Chair Powell. Jennifer Schonberger with Yahoo Finance. At the risk of beating the dead horse here, clearly 3 members
she's hot.
objected to keeping that easing bias in the statement. And you said that the majority still didn't need to move to new language at this point. So does the majority of the committee still have a bias towards cuts at this point, or has the bias on the committee shifted away from cuts towards holding or hikes if that was needed?
So I think that, you know, the center is moving toward a more neutral place, and that's sort of what markets are saying too. I just think, you know, there's a lot of signaling going on when you change guidance like that, and so we just, I guess a majority of us didn't feel like we needed to send a signal on that right now. But maybe it'll come to that. And the reason is because,
So many
waiting to
wicks.
see what happens with events in the Middle East and what are the implications of those events for the U.S. economy. So there's a group who feels like we don't need to be in a hurry to do that. We get it, and of course we will move to a hiking bias if we want to hike, and we'll move to a neutral
I'm in a
bias
short,
before
but I almost got filled and then it ripped up
whether they
X6.
do it
So
at this meeting, at a meeting at which all but one of us agreed that the rate decision
it's hard when he's talking.
And you just said moments ago that you believe Fed independence is at risk. Is it safe to say
Bearish.
that you want to stay on as a governor to serve as a check and balance on that?
I want to stay until I will stay until I feel it's appropriate for me to leave. And yes, that is really what is driving this. I'm not looking to be, a high-profile dissident or anything like that. I'm more looking at the other aspects of this and wanting to see that things have calmed down and we're returning to a traditional model of working with the people that you
Good
have,
crash, come on.
consensus and respecting that consensus. That's what I'm hoping to see.
Matt Egan.
Thanks, Chair Powell. Matt Egan, CNN.
Beautiful.
You've made many tough decisions in your time at the Fed, and as your time as chair comes to a close and you think about your tenure and perhaps your legacy, are there any decisions that stand out as ones that you're particularly proud of? And
I mean,
are there any,
the 5-minute chart says fucking fall really bad.
the benefit of hindsight, you
I got another bearish signal here.
Yeah,
It's actually massive.
It's hard. I wouldn't want to single out individual things at this point. I'll just say, we all of us together have consistently tried to do what we think is best for the American people based
If
on
this
our
can't hold here, we
tools and
dropping.
objectives that Congress has given us. It's been very challenging because we've been in a situation of supply shocks really for 6 years. And that's just a very different situation than for a very long time. What the Fed and other central banks were doing all the time was demand management. And, and there was always the inflation mandate, but inflation was low for 25 years. So this is a very different world and a much more challenging one where you have to balance
Challenging.
the two objectives.
Fall.
And by the way, central banks that have an inflation mandate have to do exactly the same thing because they're balancing economic activity. So that's been challenging, and we've tried to do our very best through these really challenging times, and I'm really proud of the work that I've done, that my colleagues and I have done during these years.
Now, to follow up on some of the discussion around Fed independence, can you explain to the public why this notion of Fed independence, which might sound kind of wonky to some, is so critical? I mean, what are the consequences if either the Supreme Court rules against Lisa Cook or the Fed in the...
Even you mentioned airline ticket prices, both of which are up dramatically because of the war in Iran. And so I wonder, are you seeing that weigh down consumer spending? And
This is a big question.
And if so, how worried are you that will be a drag on growth?
You don't see it in spending yet. You really don't. I mean,
That's not good.
Your colleagues said the economy has been resilient. It really has. Not just this time, but it's been remarkably resilient for some years now. The U.S. economy has just powered through shock after shock, and consumers are still spending.
It has.
The banks will tell you, credit card companies will tell you, the retail sales numbers that we got most recently.
You know why? Because we're detached.
And how long can that go on in a world where if gas prices were to go up a bunch more, that's taking otherwise spendable money out of people's pockets. But right now, we don't actually see much slowdown in yet, certainly none from this. But
bullish.
you will, because people have a certain amount of money to spend. If they're spending 25% more on gas or something like that, then that's going to come out of other spending. But we don't see it yet.
One last thing. You mentioned those economies in Southeast Asia that are particularly dependent on petroleum. They make a lot of the stuff that American consumers buy. So was there any discussion today about whether or not those costs getting passed along to consumers is a real concern, and whether or not that might push up inflation.
So all of those things are in the models that we use to calculate inflation.
One fucking candle, bro. That shit was going down.
You can ask about
right back
anything
up.
like that, and they have a place. The staff has a place where they're looking at that and pricing in what will happen with higher prices and that kind of thing. So it's there. The effects are not that big yet.
Overall, he's been talking
The
bullish.
import sector is only 10% of the economy, so we're not like a European country where 50% of the external of GDP is in the external sector. We're also, as I mentioned, we're an oil exporter, so we're not feeling the same kind of pain, and we're not likely to feel the same kind of pain that economies in Western Europe and certainly in Asia are feeling. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. I won't see you next time.
It was last time. It was last time, and what do we get out of that? There is no significant slowdown, but all right, there's another fucking bear here. I'm adding one more. Shorting. So I've gotten beat up a couple times in these shorts. They're just not following through. One of them's got to fucking follow through. I wanted to come down because 4 o'clock has got some crazy earnings coming out, like crazy. We got Meta, Google, and Amazon, and Qualcomm, QCOM, and Microsoft, and eBay. Like, what the fuck? That's a lot. Powell, game over. Uh-oh. Man, it's kind of fucking annoying as shit, dude. Why does it just keep going? I keep getting the shorts, and it just keeps going. Yeah, it's gonna be definitely crazy. Still banking on a short here. If it goes below, yeah, this is another short. Another short. Hold. Hold. There we go. Do you think any of those earnings are going to be bad? If we can get past the 300s, we're falling.
TV, Iran says revenge for the martyred leader remains in place.
There it goes. Come on. All right, we went down below it, which is good. This area is going to be our problem area. If we can blast through it, we Gucci. There you go. Break this higher low, man. We Gucci, bro. Break this higher low. Come on. Bang. Lower low. Now we can go down, daddies.
Daddy, chill.
Value sensei. Value sensei.
It should fucking come down more, though. That's what pissed me off. I'm like, should I just hold it? There you go, daddy. Crack down. All right, route 1. All right, route 2. We got 3 left.
See a little bit of strength in WTI crude. Reminder of the headline: Iran says a revenge for the martyred
Oof,
leader remains
yeah,
in place,
come on.
according to Iranian TV.
Come on, daddy. Close below this. We Gucci. Come on. Told you this is a fucking fake fucking rip up. Iran says revenge is still in place. Don't you hold here. Let's go. 7 seconds left. Crack down, baby. There you go. There you go. Let's go. Still got the 5-minute. We're still in there, so it can play games. 15-minute. Oof, daddy. Crack down, baby. When it comes around. Yogurt, let's go. Your asshole was so tight it started to whistle. Oh, man. I wish I could hear that. Come on. Close below this. It should continue down. Five-minute VWAP. 238s, huh? I'm thinking that too. I'll hold 2 when it gets there. I mean, I'll hold 1 to see what happens. Come on, man. It broke below. Let's look at the 30-second. Yeah, it definitely fucking fell. I mean, we have... Is this one? Gap? No. It looks like it wants to rip up a bit. That sucks. Let's look and see the VWAP. I mean, RSI really did not give anything crazy that it was overbought. I mean, this did. The 5-minute one. 15-minute one did too. We got a couple divergences here. Doesn't want to rip back up and then fall. I don't know. This where my entry is pretty. You can see that it's a pretty big resistance. You got you know, it tries to break above. It finally does. Come down, retouch. It could retouch again and then fall. Yeah, that'll blast through. It just won't go down our area. I would think they want to drop this down. Do you guys think the earnings at 4 o'clock are to be really good? You do? All right, yeah. So, in theory, we should drop down, right, to get a better price? Unless they bought in yesterday. Ten minutes is the MOC. What you gonna do? Oof. Reject. I mean, this could have been the 80% rejection here. You know, you never know if it's the bigger one or the smaller one. If you look from here to here, we're right in that area, 80%. If this starts breaking below 268, so we dropping, baby. Dropping. Hey, 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 hey. Heaven's down. There we go. Come on. 3-bar play. Up. Down. 50% retracement on that 3-bar play. If this breaks below, we dropping. Got to get past this 1-to-1 again. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Come on. Come on. Do you want it? I feel like it should be violently down once it breaks it. What's up, Daly? Where you been at, bro? Hey, 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 hey. If we can get this TP, we're gonna have a real bag. Gucci bag, baby. Man, it won't get past here. 8 minutes until MOC. We could take our $500 now, or we can try to see if what'll happen. I agree, Mr. Bastard. He needs to drop now. Come on. Very good, Mr. Daly.
They say money can't buy happiness. Look at that
I've
fucking
been,
smile on my
yeah,
face.
same shit. Ooh, what is this one? A match star? Are we matched together, baby? I mean, thank you. Yes. Do not hammer up. Fucker. I like your response. What, 25 seconds left? Shit.
Voice news disconnected.
Connect. Uh-oh. Don't do it now. There we go. It was interesting. It was Fed Powell's speech, to be honest with you. It wanted the short, and it just kept grinding up slowly. Now, at 4 o'clock, we got Meta earnings, Google earnings, Amazon earnings, QCOM earnings, Microsoft, and eBay. His final speech, yep. But he's still gonna stay and help. So like, that's why everybody was like, "What the fuck? Retire." But he basically said he's tired of Trump's administration suing them. Dude, I could walk away with $400 in this trade, or fucking risk what I originally wanted. I don't know. Do you think MOC will go down before that or no? Three minutes left. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know what to think. So if we go back, like in the past couple weeks, every single tech stock has been bullish, right? Ah, that sucks, Johnny. Come on! 2 minutes left. I don't know if I should fucking... I'm gonna take out... Mini in a Dream.
One minute remaining for the market on close imbalance.
Alright, I'm gonna do, oof. I don't even like... I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna take it all out. $30 seconds left. Because this is gonna be interesting as fuck.
Ten seconds.
Oh, man.
Market on close imbalance. S&P 500 sell side 433 million.
You
Nasdaq 100
bitch.
sell side 563 million. Dow 30 sell side 43 million. Mag 7 sell side 387 million. So reminder at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, expecting earnings.
Well, hello everybody. This is Donald J. Trump.
Damn, guys. That was $1,000 move right here.
$55.51 billion. Estimated EPS $6.64. Qualcomm Q2 2026 earnings. Estimated revenue $10.56 billion. Estimated EPS $2.55.
Hey guys, I'm gonna restart TikTok really quick. If you guys don't mind, just run up my legs really quick. Literally in and out, alright? Be back in 4 seconds. Dude, this would have been so much money. It wasn't worth the risk in my opinion. Like, I know, like, I was up a lot, but if I was to, like, lose that, I'd be really pissed off. Jones and me. Think we go up? It should. Honestly, we should. Let's see, let's see. Is it gonna go down or just keep going up? I'm struggling, Tom. I'm struggling. It's a little better though. I didn't realize that you had to take and honestly, can you guys hear the music on TikTok? Should. Okay. I don't know, but if any of these are bad, dude, we're dumping. So pick your poison. I don't see why this doesn't rip up. I mean, if you look at the past few weeks, each earning has ripped up like crazy. I mean, this is a
Reminder in 5 minutes' time,
short.
we're expecting earnings. Amazon Q1 estimated revenue 177.21 billion, estimated EPS $1.64. Google Q1 estimated revenue 91.56 billion, estimated EPS $2.62. Meta Q1 estimated revenue 55.51 billion, estimated EPS $6.64. Qualcomm Q2 estimated revenue 10.56
Black
billion,
hole
estimated
sun.
EPS $2.55. Shortly after 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time, Microsoft Q3 earnings, estimated revenue 81.46 billion, estimated EPS $4.03. eBay Q1 estimated revenue 3.03 billion, estimated EPS
Do we just buy? Do we
$1.58.
just
Ford
buy?
Q1 estimated revenue 39.58 billion, estimated EPS 18 cents.
It's got to be bullish. I want to find a spot to get in. Or is this one of those ones you just close your eyes and get in? Do we wait for the pullback or just rip it in, baby? Yeah, I think I just need to buy. Alright, we're just gonna buy one. I'm up a lot of money, so like I can handle it. If there is a pull, exactly. I don't know. The DJ, you did the same thing? Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. This is like huge. Two minutes, 2 minutes. Oh, there's the pullback. Alright, I'm in two. I'm in for the gamble. In theory, Snowman, it should. But, you know, I don't know. It's a gamble. I feel like that was a good ad.
Shortly expecting earnings from Amazon, Google, Meta, and Qualcomm.
I feel like they all did well. Every single tech stock has done well in the past 3 weeks. The only thing I could think that did shit was Meta, but I heard their Meta glasses did pretty well. 20 seconds, 20 seconds.
Ten seconds.
Oh, daddy. Oh, daddy.
Qualcomm revenue. Adjusted revenue 10.6 billion, 10.6 billion, higher than forecast at 10.56 billion. Adjusted EPS $2.65, $2.65, higher than forecast at $2.55. CapEx 1.08 billion, CapEx 1.08 billion, with Qualcomm seeing third quarter revenue 9.2 billion to 10 billion, around the estimate of 10.26 billion. You also see Q3 adjusted EPS $2.10 to $2.30, the estimate $2.43.
Prop firms, Grayson. Prop firms, for sure. All right, that was QCOM only. Still waiting for the rest. Oh my fuck.
Qualcomm says China handset market to
Adding
reach
more.
bottom in
I'm
Q3.
adding more.
It says shipments have fallen short of consumer brand. Seeing earnings from Amazon here.
No
EPS
fucking way.
$2.78, a beat on the estimate of $1.62.
No way.
Sales 181.52 billion, 181.52 billion, a beat on the estimate of 177.23 billion. Operating margin 13.1%, 13.1%, a beat on the estimate of 11.7%. Net sales 37.59 billion, 37.59 billion, a beat on the estimate of 36.68 billion. Physical stores net sales 5.79 billion, 5.79 billion, a miss on the estimate of 5.81 billion. North American net sales 104.14 billion, 104.14 billion, a beat on the estimate of 102.08 billion. With Amazon seeing Q2 net sales at 194 to 199 billion, with the estimate being 189.15 billion. Amazon sees Q2 operating income 20 billion to 24 billion, with the estimate being 22.86 billion.
All right, good.
EPS
Amazon.
$10.44, $10.44. A beat on the estimate of $6.43.
Come on, they
Revenue,
beat. Rip up.
56.31 billion, 56.31 billion. A beat on the estimate of 55.51 billion. Operating income 22.87 billion, 22.87 billion. Family of apps operating income 26.9 billion, 26.9 billion. A
Did
beat on the
Google come
estimate
out yet?
24.26 billion. Reality Labs operating loss 4.03 billion, 4.03 billion.
Rip up, rip
Loss
up.
of 4.77 billion. That's compared to the estimate. Ad revenue 55.02 billion, 55.02 billion, a miss on the estimate of 54.16 billion.
Whoa, what was that
Meta
miss?
Q2 revenue at 58 to 61 billion, with the estimate being 59.56 billion. And Meta sees fiscal year
Oh,
CapEx
Google Rev, let's go.
125 billion to
Let's
145
go.
billion, so 115 billion to 135 billion. Alphabet now. Revenue.
Come on!
109.9 billion, 109.9 billion, a beat on the estimate of 107.1 billion.
Come on!
Income 39.7 billion, 39.7 billion, a beat on the estimate of 36.19 billion. Google ad revenue 77.25 billion, 77.25 billion, a beat on the estimate of 76.21
Oh, I'm up a
billion.
fucking lot, bro.
CapEx,
Come on, a little more. Come
35.67
on.
billion, 35.67 billion, a beat on the estimate of 36.39 billion. Google Cloud revenue 20.3 billion, 20.3 billion.
Come
a beat
on!
the estimate of 18.41 billion. Google
No, I'm up
Search
so
and
much
other
money.
revenue 60.40 billion,
I want to
60.40
see go up
billion, a
higher.
beat on the estimate of 59.08 billion. Revenue ex-TAC 94.67 billion, 94.67 billion.
Don't
a
go
beat
down,
on the
go
estimate
up.
of 91.57 billion.
Oh, man. Come on, bounce.
Microsoft revenue 82.89 billion, 82.89 billion, a beat on the estimate of 81.46
They
billion.
beat.
EPS
Go up.
$4.27, $4.27, a beat on the estimate of $4.03.
Huge beat.
Cloud revenue was 54.5 billion. Azure and other cloud revenue ex-FX plus 39%, a beat on the estimate of 38.2%.
Come on!
Q3
Dude, I was up
Dynamics
so
revenue
much
increased
fucking money
12%.
right there.
Q3 Dynamics 365 revenue increased 22%. Cloud revenue
Dude, their
54.5
revenue's
billion,
huge. Let's go.
54.5 billion, a beat on the estimate of 53.78 billion.
This
Windows
should go
3
up.
devices revenue decreased 2%.
It should go up.
With Microsoft shares rising 3%. Q3 capex, including leases.
Microsoft in 10 seconds. Microsoft, 10
On the
seconds.
estimate of 35.29 billion. Xbox content and services revenue decreased 5%.
Come on!
Alphabet here. Google cloud revenue 20.03 billion.
Google, the
20.03
biggest
billion,
it's
a beat on
had.
the estimate of
Biggest quarter
18.41
ever.
billion.
No
Alphabet
way,
shows the
it's
strongest
bleeding
quarter ever
down.
for consumer AI plans.
It's got to be profit taking, you guys think? Dude, I was up so much money. No. Come on. No way. Was I being too greedy?
Microsoft Q3 intelligent cloud revenue 34.68 billion, 34.68 billion, a beat on the estimate of 34.32 billion. And AI business surpassed annual revenue run rate of 37 billion.
Huge fucking earnings. Come on.
So Amazon here increase in purchases reflect investment in AI.
Yes. Come
Meta
on.
shares slide 6.7% after boosting fiscal year capex outlook.
Is that you?
Amazon say 59.3 billion year-on-year rise in purchases of property and equipment.
Come on, go up. Everything's such good. So good. I don't get it. Come on, baby. It should have ripped up more. Am I missing something? Anybody can help me out?
Meta says headwinds in EU and US could significantly impact results and continue to monitor active legal and regulatory matters.
Come on. What do you mean I sold you, X6? Bro, if I would have sold all this at the top here, it was so much money. That's alright, though. Let's see. We got out one up there. I had two left just to see if I want to go up a little more. I don't see why this doesn't pop. That was crazy earnings, guys.
eBay Q1 adjusted EPS $1.66 compared to the estimate of $1.58. eBay sees Q2 net revenue 2.97 billion, 2.9.
It's gonna bleed down now, isn't it?
Behind the markets.
Oh, stop it. Not now. I can't believe that, bro. I was up so much money.
Revenue
Come
3.09 billion,
on.
3.09 billion, a beat on the estimate of 3.03 billion. Active buyers 136 million, 136 million, a beat on the estimate of 135.1 billion. eBay sees Q2 adjusted EPS $1.46 to $1.51, the estimate being $1.50.
Dude, it's all good stuff coming out. I'm a little confused. I haven't seen one bad news release. That sucks. Right into the 78 area. Got a little bit
For earnings
lower,
here,
80,
revenue
80s.
43.3 billion, 43.3 billion.
You're looking at that
Adjusted
short?
EPS
I don't know
66
about that,
cents,
bro.
66 cents, higher, a beat on the estimate of 19 cents. Ford sees fiscal year adjusted EBIT 8.5 billion, 8.5 billion to 10.5 billion, previously seeing 8 billion to 10 billion. Ford Pro EBIT $1.69 billion, 1.69 billion, plus 29% year on year. Ford model EBIT loss 777 million, 777 million, lower than the expected loss of 990.8 million.
All right, whatever that
Pro
was
revenue,
just
14.7
was bad.
billion, 14.7 billion.
The smallest fucking
miss
one
on
out of
the
all of
estimate
them is
of
making them fall, though,
15.52
right?
billion. Blue EBIT
Fucking bullshit, bro.
1.94 billion, 1.94 billion, a beat on the estimate of 506.8 million. Model E revenue 1.2 billion, 1.2 billion, a miss on the estimate of 1.22 billion.
Dude, I was
Ford
up
sees
almost
fiscal year
$7,000 to $8,000.
Ford still sees fiscal year
Was I
capex
too greedy?
9.5 billion to
I don't think I
10.5 billion.
was. It was
and
like
the
right
estimate
here.
being 9.94 billion. Ford Q1 Ford Blue revenue 23.9 billion, a beat on the estimate of 21.74 billion. And Ford still sees fiscal year Ford model EBIT loss of 4 billion to 4.5
I
billion.
haven't seen
and
one
Ford still
bad
sees fiscal
earning,
year
guys.
adjusted
I
free
don't
cash
get it.
flow 5 billion to 6 billion.
Fucking bitch, bro. What a fucking bitch. Doesn't even fucking make sense. It's just dumping. eBay beat. Ford beat. Like, what the fuck? Go up. I was buy the rumor, sell the news for sure. What the fuck? But that was crazy, dude. I don't even think that was fucking rumor yet. The news didn't even come out. I just gave back so much fucking money. You fucking suck, bully. You suck, suck, suck. Insane. Insane. I got fucking rug pulled. I got rug pulled. He gone. I actually want to see this bleed to zero. Go ahead, bleed to zero. Insane, bro. I don't get it.
Microsoft shares extend decline to 3.1%.
I can't laugh, but I just can't stop giggling inside. Like, fuck you, bro. Fuck this market. Rain on a man's parade. Fuck TikTok right now. That's how I feel. Fucking rain on a man's parade, you fucking bitch. What the fuck is this shit, bro? Fuck you. Fuck you. 400 fucking points on good earnings. Suck a fucking D, bro. There is no fucking reason. Every earnings beat.
Microsoft shares down 2.8% after the bell following results.
What the fuck is that shit? I don't care if I'm cursing now. This is crazy. I'm still up on the day. I don't care. But still, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? No, now I'm not down on the day. I'm down on the day. Crazy, bro. Crazy. Makes no sense. That was too much, though. That wasn't no buy the rumor sell. That was a fucking fuck the people. Fucking crazy, dude. How am I up almost 7-8 G's down to fucking $0, bro? Every earnings beat. Every earnings beat. Sell off fucking, that was crazy. Crazy, dude. We're at 138. Oh my god, what the fuck is this, dude? This is gonna fall more, guys. Fucking bananas. Today was really easy to trade. I don't understand this. This is crazy. Give me 27K, something. Do something. Don't fucking rip up now. This is where you get ripped, guys. Duffy didn't see this, right? Fuck. I don't know if this is the bottom or not. 'Cause this is gonna fucking hurt, dude, if I'm wrong on this. That's fucking hilarious. I'm literally giggling inside. Oh, this is all funded too, by the way.
Nasdaq 100 ETF falls 0.7%.
This is too much money now. Yeah, definitely zeroed. I would have been up pretty fucking Gucci right now, but I shorted and now it rips up. It's like classic. I deserve this. Dude, I literally had like fucking 2 weeks of payouts right there. Fuck, dude, I am so annoyed at myself. This is gonna rip up. So fucking annoyed, dude.
Fitch Rating says prolonged Iran war case highlights risks in multiple sectors and regions.
I can't even scream because my fucking teeth. I'm gonna fucking pop a blood vessel. Fucking bitch, dude. I am so fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck. That's how I feel right now. I don't even give a fuck. I'll fucking crack all of them. I can't believe I fucking did that. I can't believe I fucking did that, boys.
Amazon share down 2.5% after the bell following results.
I never had an you know what's so funny? Like I was like, holy fuck, I'm up a lot of money, dude. Dude, I just lost 8,000 to -5. So what was that 13K? Basically. I wasn't even trying to be greedy, dude. Fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. Now I'm not gonna catch a break. Watch. I can't believe that.
Qualcomm gains 4%, reversing earlier decline.
That was insane. How many points was that? 400 to what? 320 points in minutes? Insane, dude. Imagine I just fucking held. Oh my god. Hey, I know what the fuck I'm doing, alright? Obviously I fucking tilted. I just lost fucking 8K. Shut the fuck up. Just take it out. Oh my god, dude. Come on, that was funny. Let me squeeze my stress ball.
Qualcomm extends gains to 7%. So a reminder,
My
5 minutes
God.
time, expecting Google's earning call.
I can't believe I did that.
Well, hello everybody. This is Donald J. Trump.
Oh my
You are now
God.
the market.
That's fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious.
Daddy? Daddy? Is that you? Is that
Yeah, well, I lost a G in each apex. Let's see what I got here. I lost a G in each apex, all funded. But I'm up 400 in my Lucids. But I was up. I was up a lot of money, dude. And if I held, I would have been at break even right now, wouldn't I? Would this have been break even?
Is that you? Is that you?
Would have been close. At least close to it. I didn't lose my account, no. I'm sorry. I put your comments to the side, guys, because if I read any of it and it's negative, I'm gonna fucking punch my screens.
Wall Street saw stocks fluctuate and bonds decline after divided Federal Reserve kept rates unchanged and warned that the war in Iran is adding significant uncertainty to the economic outlook. Brent crude climbed to its highest level since 2022. Qualcomm extends gains to 10%. With no clear end to the Middle East conflict, traders largely abandoned expectations for a rate cut this year and began pricing in the possibility of a hike in 2027. The 10-year Treasury yield rose to a one-month high, while most S&P 500 stocks declined. In late trading, Meta slipped after lifting its spending outlook, while Alphabet gained after sales topped expectations. Fed officials adjusted their statement to highlight that developments in the Middle East are contributing to elevated
Yeah, Val, that
levels
was
of
rough.
uncertainty around the economy, while keeping language about the timing and scale of any future rate changes. The meeting also exposed deeper divisions about the central bank, and several officials supported holding rates steady but resisted maintaining an easing bias, while Governor Stephen Moran dissented in favor of a cut. Jerome Powell's press conference marked his final one as Fed chair after the Justice Department dropped its investigation into the central bank, clearing the path for Kevin Walsh's Senate confirmation. Powell said he will remain at the Fed as a governor.
This can keep going up. I can't believe I fucking did that. And look at this fucking thing. Go fuck yourself. About to give it all back, ain't I? I can't believe that shit. I did that. Unpredictable, then the end is right. I hope you have the time of your life. How much am I down overall? $2,517. But 3 of my Apex got the 1K drawdown.
Short expecting Google earnings call.
So then they're done for the day. But I was up fucking... I was up 8K, guys. I was up 8,000 cash. Cash!
Amazon say Prime Day returns for members in June 2026.
She did, cowboy. She did.
Daddy?
I can't believe
Daddy?
I did that.
Is that you? Is that you?
Fuck. Dude, I got rinsed. I was actually looking for you, Cowboy, when Jasmine came in. Dude, I got fucking rinsed, dude. I was up so much money. Whatever. Nothing I can do now, right? Nothing I can do now. There was actually no reason for it to come all the way down here. This was just a rinse, bro. Straight up rinse. I feel like the market should be all the way back to the tops. That's how I feel. I don't see why it doesn't come up to 312s. I have all your comments to the side. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at any of your comments. I could see some of you guys being rude. Oh my fuck you. Oh, right in the 61%. I guess I'm blinded right now. I got fucking rinsed. I just gave it all back again. That sucks, guys. Fuck. I'm just tilting now. I'm pretty sure I had like... I gave back like 2 weeks of pay right there. It's too late. This is gonna crack. I'm gonna crack them all. Ah, such an asshole. I deserve to lose it all.
Daddy?
Let me see what I got.
Daddy? Is that you? Is that you?
What a fucking dumbass I am, bro. So stupid. Ah, so frustrated. I'm not even supposed to be like... I'm not even supposed to scream because my teeth. I just got all my wisdom teeth taken out and I just screamed. I mean, I know that they're gonna... I know they do buy the rumor, sell the news. And I was prepared for that, actually, to be honest with you. I actually thought it was gonna hit up here. It didn't. It swept through. Okay. And I'm like, I can still hold, you know, a couple $100 into loss. It's fine. But this is insane here. This was insane. You tell me he's just gonna rinse 100 points more? Crazy, dude. Crazy. Another fair value gap. Bullish. Yeah, I'm still long. I would have actually I think I'm pretty sure I would have got back close to break even here. I knew better. I don't know why the fuck did I short this right here too. That's just dumbass. Definitely emotionally fucked myself. I need this to rip through. Get a higher high, we Gucci. Gotta make a higher high soon though. Fuck you. 50% pullback.
Reverses gains, now down 1.8%.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. I got fucking swished,
Alphabet
guys.
shares extend gain to more than 5.5%.
Fucking swished. Insane. Oh my god. Look at Meta. Holy shit. Oh no, that wasn't today. What was it? Microsoft? Insane, dude. Look at this. Look at this. Woof. Fucking manipulation. Holy shit. Sorry, I'm not looking at you guys. I know some of you guys are talking shit.
US Treasury Secretary Bessent says sprinting for the finish line with Iran. Currently speaking on Fox Business.
I can't believe that. And now it's gonna go right back down $1,000, bro.
Bessent says willing to do secondary sanctions on Iran oil buyers.
Crazy. Fine on my range, I am still just. Thank you, Tom. Sorry I'm ignoring you guys. Some of you guys are saying all this other shit. But yeah, I'm fucking upset. I just lost fucking 8 plus 5,000, 13,000 right there. Pull through. Come on.
Besant says every day adding more economic pressure to Iran.
Daddy? Daddy, is that you? Is that you?
Colonel Lunk, thank you.
Google's Pichai says reduce cost of AI responses by 30% due to progress.
I only got 8 minutes left. These should rip up.
Besant says close to $500 million in Iran-related crypto seized.
It should continue up. Now it's like fucking dragging ass. Still just ready to cage.
Besant says consumers and the stock market looking through Iran.
I only got I think 6 minutes left, and then Lucid's gonna close my shit.
You're behind the markets. If you're a real day trader,
Dude, I can't catch a fucking break, can I? Can't catch a break. Can't catch a fucking break. This one got me, guys. This one got me. Yeah, I know, but I was up fucking $8,000. Yeah, I'm back down too. It's just bleeding down. I fucked myself, dude. Well, there you go, guys. You see the ugly too, huh? I'm cursing a lot because I'm just like,
They say money can't buy
why
happiness.
the
Look at the
fuck
fucking smile on my face.
did I do that? Dude, I'm not joking. I was up so much money in cash. Cash money. Cash money. Thank you, Daily. I appreciate it. There it goes. It closes. There it goes. All right, guys. I'll be on tomorrow. Maybe. At this rate. I kind of hurt
They
my
say money
teeth
can't buy
screaming,
happiness. Look
bro.
at that fucking smile on my
I
face.
shouldn't have yelled. I'm scared my gums are bleeding now.
Bearsen said UAE and several others requested swap lines.
My wisdom teeth are hurting a lot. Oh my god. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Adios, amigos and migas.